Yes, and we are live. Yes, and we are live on Let's Think Podcast. Everyone, don't forget about the Fez Dealer. FezDealer.com, Sheikh Sufi Fez. Don't forget about the Fez Dealer. Get your urban Islamic experience. Urban Islamic experience. Fezes, kufis, zikr beads, jewelry, clothing, all Islamic expired. Get your urban Islamic experience with the Fez Dealer. And of course, I'm your host, Sheikh 7 Islam Male. Allow me to rise, giving all thanks and perfect praises unto Allah. Highest honors to his holy prophet. Honors to the forerunner Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Honors to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Honors to my leadership, Brother L. Portisel and Sister Shikes M. Portisel. Honors to their staff. Honors to their administration. And honors to all of you. And honors to all who will participate in the comprehensive program of uplifting for all of humanity. Islam, peace, yes, sir. And we have back in the building today our good brother, our esteemed brother, the champ, one of the champs, Ishmael Bey in the building. In the building. How are you today, brother? How are you?
G7L. So good to see you, family. I'm doing well. So it's always good to be back on the platform. Thank you so much for inviting me to come back. Like I said, I know we had some really, really good conversations. We had some really good information being exchanged, going back and forth.
Yes,
I've come
sir.
in capacity, solo. I've come with my brother, brother Sharif, and just always feeling very welcome. So thank you again for inviting me, brother. Truly.
Absolutely, man. Our honest and gratitude to you for being willing to come and share the information with not only myself, but into the listening audience. And everybody who's coming in, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We need all the subscribers we get. And I do have a surprise coming. Once we get to 3,000 subscribers, I will be giving away something. I won't say what it is right now, but I will be giving it away to one of our lucky subscribers. So make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you interact so we can know who you are, so you can place yourself in the opportunity to win this particular prize. And I guess on the next show I reveal what it is, but not tonight because we got to get the business. You hear me? So listen. See what we're about to talk about tonight, right, brother man? You know the beautiful thing about this conversation. There's been so much conversation about this headdress that I wear, that you wear, that Moors wear, that you know what? Let's keep it honest. That multiple nations wear, right?
Right. Right.
Right. Different variations, different, you know, styles or different traditions of the particular headdress. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, guess what they don't normally talk about this headdress being?
What's
In
that?
America.
That's right. That's what they don't talk about. They don't talk about the origin of it. That's what they don't talk about. The
Ooh,
origin of it.
the what of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. The origin of it.
Oh my, oh my, oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. They don't talk about that.
Cause see, you're gonna ask people. People gonna say, "Oh, what the origin of what the Americans?" No, that's not possible. Okay, well, guess what? He's willing to have that dialogue with you
Yeah.
right here
Yeah.
on Let's Think Podcast. And if you would like to come in onto the platform and have that dialogue, at the end of the show, I'll possibly put the link in the chat and you can have a brief conversation or a brief dialogue with a brother. But if you are one who wants to, have that dialogue, we can set it up on a day on Let's Think Podcast. You present your information, our brother present his information, and guess what we'll do? We'll let the people decide, right? Okay, so the Fez. Well, who we got in the super? Okay, we got who was that? Who was that? Yeah, hey yo, I can't pronounce your name, but guess what? I see you in the chat. I see you in the chat. Salute to you. Because I don't want to butcher your name either, and that's out of respect because the name is a very precious thing. So, brother, here we go. Here we go. You said, just said, and you said it. I didn't say it. You said, you know what I'm saying? Not that I don't agree, but you said it, and I know you can defend it.
Oh
You
yeah,
said
yeah, 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 yeah.
other nations are hating so much they say it's Turkish. Facts. Every time I wear mine, I get the haters hating. East 49. Hey man, that's what haters do. They hate. What else we expect them to do, especially if you haven't learned to love instead of hate. So listen, hey, you know how I go. But wear it with pride, brother. Adorn it with pride, adorn it with respect, adorn it with sacredness, and guess what? You wear it well. So my brother said the origins,
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
not
what I
just
see.
not just the Americas had their variation of the Fed,
Right, 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 right.
but the origin.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You gotta be able to prove that and stand on it. You just can't say it. You gotta be able to prove it, right?
Hmm.
You gotta show and prove, right?
Hmm. See, this is not your first time having this dialogue.
Right, right, right,
I remember because I saw
right.
it on, and I'm gonna say it, in my brother Tahaka Bey's page, Moore's World TV.
Hmm.
Um, you did a presentation on that here, on his page, and
Hmm.
honestly, him in Moore's World TV.
Absolutely,
However,
absolutely.
however, brother, I feel like that's a subject that need to be touched,
Yeah,
and that,
rightfully so. Right,
you
right,
know what I
right.
mean. And
Hmm.
you see, we got people in the chat talking about the feds now, and um, yeah, they say it's Turkish. You know, some people
They
say,
do say it's Turkish. They do. They
yeah,
do. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So let's get into it, brother Ish. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Yeah, yeah. So what we can do is revisit a part of the presentation that was done, and let's kind of just expound on it and build as we go. If there's questions that come in the chat, we'll be happy to answer that. If there's questions that you have, of course, we can answer that and just kind of go where it leads us by Allah's grace. Um, what we'll do is be able to share the screen shortly. Let me just go and make sure I got this right thing here. Okay,
Absolutely.
so I got this part all set up here. Okay.
And if you have questions, please super chat your questions. Support the channel. Support the channel. The Cash App is pinned, and the Cash App is in the comments. Um, Support the Cash App, super chat, super stickers, super thanks. We appreciate it all. Please support the channel so we can continue to do what we do and bring to you what we do. Islam, honest and gratitude. So let's go, brother Ish. Let me get you on there. Let's do it.
Okay, brother. No problem. No problem. What we have here is
Hmm.
the FEZ in ancient America, right?
Absolutely.
For the presentation. And we as we go here, again, we have to deal with the ancient people. We're talking about these are ancient Mayans, right? These figurines and these artifacts are on display in Guatemala today. You can go to the museum in Guatemala and you will be able to see these ancient Mayans for yourself. These people are indigenous to the Americas. We're talking about these three figurines that are here. These are three separate figurines, all with the quote unquote Negroid features, the beautiful thick lips, the beautiful broad nose, the beautiful hair, and all of the features and adornment that Allah has blessed us with on display,
On
right?
display.
Absolutely. And then you'll see the picture of myself at the far right, and you'll see a figure that's splitting with mine. That is an ancient, that is a recreation in Moundville, Alabama. If you go to the Moundville archaeological site, you can see her for yourself. She's a recreation of the bones that were there in Alabama, the first inhabitants of that area in Moundville.
Mm.
Now, when you look at her, when you see her in real life, she's about just a shade darker than I. There's multiple figurines that are there that are on display at the museum. She's a life-size figure. But these are signifying our great mothers. These are our great ancient mothers indigenous to the Americas. They don't tell you that.
Ooh.
Even if you go to Moundville Museum today, you'll see the white section where the majority of the people go, but you have to go in the back area by the water to see the recreation of the actual bones in the ground, and that's where you'll see the artifacts who are our color and darker. Okay,
Wow.
so that's in Alabama. The American Indian not taught to the masses, right? Let's go further. The FEZ, the indigenous headdress to the Americas 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago.
Whoa. How many?
See, big bank take little bank. You can't have this conversation unless you in the same time zone as me. See, you can't even come in my neighborhood. You ain't in my block. You ain't in my vicinity. You ain't in my county. You ain't even in my state nor hemisphere. 5,000 years ago, we got the ancient artifacts of the FEZ. Now here we have one of the artifacts that was for sale for only $70, but this was a $70. You could have got
This
that.
what they doing to this what they doing to our legacy, our heritage.
Yeah, these
bro.
are authentic artifacts, prehistoric, pre-Columbian. The age is 300 to 500 BC. Here's the FEZ on the indigenous body. These are artifacts that are available and for sale that people can get.
Bro, you need to listen, man. Send me a site, man, send me the site where I can get that.
No doubt. I'll send you the drop. This one went quick. But they have ones that come through that you're able to actually get. You know, I mean, I would have made that into a necklace. I put that John right there and a nice little glass, I'll have a medallion with that head in it. You wouldn't be able to tell me nothing, yo.
Yes,
I'll be live on this right now. I'll be like all up in your face with it. That'd be me though. I'm just flashy like that.
You know me. I'm the same way, bro. That's
yes,
Libra.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the Libra and the Libra gang. So then the ones next to that is Corral Supe. Corral Supe is the oldest civilization in the Americas. I repeat, the oldest civilization in the Americas. And they have a recreation of this. And in the recreation, you're able to see the crimson FEZ with the head adornment. These are the tassels that are coming down with the mass figurines on it. And this shows you, just so we can get the perspective of Corral Supe. Let's make sure we pull up the civilization so people can see it for themselves. This is the book, Andean Archaeology, North and South, Volume 3, page 63. It reads, quote, "The evidence from Corral indicates that Corral Supe society was organized into socially stratified ranks, and the local authorities connected to a state government sustained by productive agro-fishing economy and dynamic internal and external exchange that had acquired significant, complex scientific, technological, artistic knowledge." It further says down here, 29 radiocarbon dates have confirmed its antiquity as the oldest civilization of Peru and America. Furthermore, the evidence shows that Corral was the model of social political organization that other societies achieved only in later times throughout Peruvian territory. So, as stated, the oldest civilization in the Americas, and on the walls is the FEZ. We'll move on. Indigenous tribes that met Columbus at the Amsterdam Museum. These, if you go to the Amsterdam Museum, you can see for yourself that these are the ancient tribes that greeted Columbus when he got here. We're talking about, again, the broad nose, the beautiful full lips, The chocolate skin, the hair, the features, the us. That is the us. The us that are greeting Columbus. Here's the sister, body intact, looking right, greeting Columbus when he came here. Now, if anyone has any doubts, you just go right here and you click on the hyperlink and it will take you to the Amsterdam Museum. I make it easy for you. You go to the Amsterdam Museum, you scroll right down and you will see this exact figurine that we just looked at, this same exact structure. You see that? So we are dealing with the facts here, that these are the depictions of the indigenous people who greeted Columbus when he got here in 1492, says it right here. The men land in Christopher Columbus. There we go. So these are the people who greeted him. But somebody else will try to convince you that you're a foreigner. Someone else will try to convince you that when you have these beautiful indigenous features, by default, you're from somewhere else. Why do they do that? When you come,
orientation.
There you go.
That's
propaganda.
Yes, sir.
So when you show and you pull up with your indigenous headdress, if you notice when we went back to a couple slides before, he got a turban on. I repeat, he's got a turban on. This indigenous Mayan. But they'll try to tell you that the turban came from somewhere else. They'll try to tell you that the FEZ came from Turkey, is what they'll say. Well, damn it, let's pull it up. Let's type in Google Turkish origins of the FEZ. The FEZ originated in Fez, Morocco. We're going to debunk that too, because we just did. But was adopted and popularized by the Ottoman Empire in the 19th century. See that? It was Fez, Morocco that influenced the Turks, who got it later in the 19th century. The Turks was late to the game, but they try to tell you the FEZ originated with the Turks. See how they mix up the dope? And then I just showed you the FEZ is what we call the FEZ because it was called Fez, Morocco. That's how the name came there. But the headdress itself is indigenous to the Americas. That's the first depiction of the quote-unquote FEZ. We're dealing with facts today.
Islam.
Islam, family. How's the brother?
All is well. All is well.
Excellent.
Just getting in from a little toilet, but we here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ain't always there when we call, but you always on time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know how Shorty's saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Hey, what they say, Mo? CP time, Mo. CP time.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yes.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so we're dealing with the indigenous FEZ of the 5,000 years ago in the Americas, right?
Listen,
so we're dealing with, we went to the, go ahead, bring him speak. Go ahead.
Listen, bro. No, you finna bring him speak. Listen to what he's saying.
For sure.
Right? For sure. So we're dealing with, we went to the museum and we saw firsthand at the Amsterdam Museum, these are the people who greeted Columbus, right? We're revisiting the information we've gone over before and with the updated information. Now, we need to understand also that the red headdress is very significant in representing freedom. This is something that was done by the indigenous populations. Here, we saw on Corral Supe, we saw the red headdress 5,000 years ago. We saw the recreation. But
then it later derived into some with certain variations in the Americas, or
it did.
It did. The Liberty hat.
Liberty it did. Cap. It came with the Liberty cap, and the Liberty cap has a very distinct history. Even with the Greeks, it was signified freedmen. This is a very important term because freedman is something that also was done here in the Americas, right? That title. Yeah. And it was signified as being a freedman. That red cap in the Americas was a signified that you were a freeman or a freedman. Let's break that down. This is a very short clip that's going to bring us up to speed right quick.
Simple red cap once ignited revolutions and became a global emblem of freedom. The Phrygian cap, with its soft, forward-leaning peak, first appeared in ancient Anatolia, but gained legendary status during the French Revolution. Worn by freed slaves in Rome, it transformed into a symbol of liberty and resistance against oppression. Revolutionary leaders donned this cap to rally crowds and inspire hope. Even today, its image endures on national emblems, quietly reminding us how a single item can spark powerful movements and shape the course of history.
So the Phrygian cap, this red cap, was very, very significant in identifying who would be free. Are we all up to speed on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, again, red cap, free, origins, America, but again, signified freedom even in Europe, in ancient Greece, in ancient Rome, still being used over to the Americas today. So let's talk about that part of the conversation. What we have here is a 1790 engraving depicts a formerly enslaved man draped in revolutionary garb, most notably the Phrygian cap. The Phrygian cap has been associated with freedom in the pursuit of liberty since antiquity, when it was symbolically given to Roman slaves upon their manumission. Today, Phrygian caps appear on the flags and coats of arms of several nations. It even appears on the Haitian coat of arms, the country's freedom from colonial bondage and the yoke of chattel slavery. The caption reads, Moi libre aussi, I too am free, asserts that the desire for freedom among formerly enslaved people was of equal importance to the revolutionary action of the French Revolution. And this is at the John Carter Brown Library. So you see this symbol of freedom has something that has always been since ancient times, even brought over to this hemisphere, symbolizing the same exact thing. This is the cap of the Coromantee. This is a free Negro, is what it says, a free Negro ranger in arms. They wear the red cap of freedom. These are Maroons who are going to war against enemies who are trying to enslave them. Right? A tattooed black man wearing only pants stands holding a musket on one shoulder, ready to lift that off. Anybody coming up? He also holds a pipe, sword, and has pouches slung across his chest. He wears a scarlet cap with a number on it. The text describes how the Maroon privates wore a scarlet cap, meaning a maroon, the symbol of liberty, with their number inscribed on it. So it's a warrior's cap. It's a freedom cap. So when you see these fezzes, these are free people, right? This is the headdress of a warrior we're talking about since ancient times. Let's go further. This is the coat of arms for the state of New Jersey. And as you can see, there's the cap, right? All throughout society, you see this constantly. And it means this is in the museum in Florida. This is the Miccosukee or the Seminole tribes of Florida. But again, you see within their artifacts and the things that they have in their Florida museum, we have the same symbol. Now,
I'm gratitude to Ishmael Young for the $9.99 super chat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, family. It's very, very important that we break down the cap as a symbol of freedom based on a historical confusion. Right? Because if you don't know the history of it and you go to somewhere like Europe, you're not going to understand how important this symbol is, and where it's so emphasized in Europe is coming from a very important figure, which is Mithras. Did anybody know who Mithras is? Mithras is one of the ancient persons in history, almost like a Zoroaster. Zoroastrianism is the oldest monotheistic religion on the planet.
Ooh, and you better
The
study.
three wise kings.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
this is why this cap is very important over
The
in those
Magi.
regions. Now, Mithras is where you get the prototype of Jesus from. Did y'all know that?
Break that down for us.
Mithras. You know what? I'm gonna do better than that. I'm gonna do better than that. We're gonna make this educational. Hold on one second. Let's go here. Let's go
Oh
here.
yeah.
Let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. Here. Yeah, here it is. Christianity Mithras video. Let's see what they say. Good clip. Let's see.
Wow.
Very important information. Again, it can be deemed as a big, massive coincidence, but you're seeing the facts for yourself. And I know a lot of the information can be heavy for a lot of people, but when you do study Mithras and you understand the history of it, you will find out that the most ancient churches that are in those regions are built on top of Mithras temples, the same exact location. They literally have built on top of the temples, right? So studying the history allows us to walk on that journey. Okay, so again, the cap of Mithras is symbolic, and the code is always there. The code is something that is consistent. That's the whole key that I'm talking about.
The freedom.
Right. Toledo's ancient quarters stirs old anxieties. Well, why is that stirring up old anxieties? Let's look and see what it shows here. When we're talking about Toledo in Spain. Toledo's ancient Jewish quarter stirs old anxieties. Look at that.
Oh wow.
Right?
Hit the like button, y'all.
Right?
Whoa.
It's stirring old anxieties, right? So what we're talking about is
a red covering on the system.
Yeah, that looks sharp.
Right.
That's some fly. That's some fly.
You know what they look like? They look like a Moorish American brother in his fez and a sister Moorish American Muslim in a turd red.
They do.
Facts.
And what this is the sanctuary of Samuel Halevy. This is the synagogue showing the Ark and the Hebrew inscriptions at the top. Right?
Toledo, Spain, too. Look, Spain.
Yeah.
Toledo, Spain. Look, y'all.
Right. They marked the Judaea, Toledo's Jewish quarter, where more than 500 years ago, Jewish life, religion, and culture flourished. Right? So all of this history are these people that have been coming to the Americas. I'm going to show you how this stuff came over to the Americas and how they discuss this stuff. These academics discuss this very specific history. Very important history. But you got to know where you fit into these type of, these conversations, right? Tucson Overture. This is from the Library of Congress. This is Tucson Overture, the great Haitian leader in his fez. Right? Because it's symbolic of freedom. And the Haitians fought and they got their freedom. So anyone is welcome to go to the Library of Congress and see it for themselves. Well, we're going to go to the link just to make sure that everything's nice and accurate here, right? We go to the Library of Congress and you see Tucson Overture in his fez, right? Okay.
He like he be my uncle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And shout out to Haiti. Shout out to Haiti for winning on the battlefield.
Shout out to the Haitians.
When you were a slave in South Carolina, you were given a pass. One of the ways Charleston attempted to control its African American population, kill the hijack, skip the hijack, population was to require all slaves to wear badges showing their occupation. After 1858, free black people also had to wear badges, which were decorated, ironically, with a liberty cap. See the free with the cap on it?
Mhm.
You had to carry that if you were free. See that?
That's tough.
They were just digging these up in like the year 2000 and 2021, digging these up and finding these old artifacts of these actual freedom badges that they had to walk around with. Very important history.
Whoa.
These
Look
are,
at
of course, these are again indigenous American tribes wearing the indigenous headdress since time immemorial,
and look at the arm posture.
right?
Mhm.
So we've
What?
seen them from their very first civilization wearing it, and the variations of it have always been floating around. I know on the promo you have a variation of it, right? And you have in Chile, you have the Inca fez style hat with the step design in brown and gold and white. So these type of headdresses have been worn by various tribes, right? That's what we're proving.
Absolutely.
We also can't ignore the fact that you have groups like the Aztecs, because the Aztecs was a very rich civilization, a very wise civilization, but they had origins in North America. Did we know that? That the Aztecs, we're talking about Montezuma, that is their origins is in North America and not in South America? Did we know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, of course, we're not just taking Brother Ishmael's word for it. We're going to go to the experts and let the experts tell you. It's available on my website, firsttribenation.com. You can see for yourself. The article is called Montezuma Aztec Origins from North America before they went to Mexico. And we have one of the foremost expert, Dr. Eric Singleton, explaining. He is the curator of ethnology at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. And let's see what he has to say about it.
You have these cultural creations that are still there today because they built in stone. Where in North America they built in wood and earth. But the Mississippian people, who were ever bit as much masters of architecture and art and culture, because they built with what would be more organic substances, it's just not there. So we always look at them because those are the groups that the Europeans first came into contact with, and the Mississippians had declined by that time as being the dominant cultural force. But the Aztecs actually came down from North America. So the Aztecs are a Ute Aztecan group, which we call the Chichimecas. They came in and took over the entire Valley of Mexico. Those are North Americans. So really, the question is, did it move north or did it move south?
Y'all catch that?
Mm-hmm. So who's at home and who's not at home?
There we go. That's the question, right? Who's a stranger?
Who's a stranger?
Absolutely.
What's
Whoa.
really good?
Whoa.
What's really good? Right?
Whoa.
So when you deal with Montezuma and the tribes that originate in North America going into South America, again, what he was explaining was that the far more ancient structures are in North America. However, they were built from the local materials. They were built by the woods and the things that were like that because that's what they had to build with.
Right.
The ones lasted in South America because they're built by what? What are they using? They're using stone.
Stone. Hey.
Right? But the mounds are older than the temples. So that's why when the European got here, it seemed like it came from that area, but actually originated from North America where the older structures were. See?
Mm, mm.
So when you
See,
have Washita and people saying like the poverty point is the oldest, they're correct. It's older than it is in South America. What are you about to say, Sheik 7? I'm sorry.
when we understand technological advancement too,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
you know, the progression of whatever science that is, because you know, the
Mhm.
building the edifices is a science.
Right.
So,
Right.
um,
Right.
geography is a science.
It is.
However, you know, when we pay attention to technological advances, we should be able to see the progression from an older period to a more modern period. But
Yes.
but then also knowing that our ancient forefathers measured time by cycle ages, we understand that in times and climes there are all rises and falls in technological advancement because you know the expansion and the constriction of human consciousness. But that happens, you know that's a reoccurring event that's been happening for eons. That's why today it seems as though our modern day science is just now catching up with ancient philosophies and the
Correct.
ancient teachings, you know, and now that our science is confirming that, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
showing and proving that they had a higher understanding of science and you know the operations of the universe. So
Correct. And there's a revamping there's a lot of people who are reassessing what they thought they knew before, right?
absolutely,
Because of
absolutely.
the body of information that's flowing right now, people are able to see. And you're right, there should be a progression that you can measure. And if you can't find it, you should be looking for it.
Absolutely.
Example, if I'm looking for a perfected pyramid, I'm going to look at Egypt for this quote unquote capped pyramid. But
Yeah.
within that influence of that capped pyramid, I should not be going over to Europe to look for that. I should be able to follow the Nile since the Nile runs north. I
Mm-hmm.
should be able to go to the source of the Nile, go to Nubia, be able to see, oh, they do have pyramids in Nubia because they do. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
then see a progression of these smaller type of
So I'm more
pyramids,
grandiose.
right? As they grow. Even when you got to Egypt, you have the bent pyramid. You see that one pyramid that
Right.
has a little slight bend to it.
Yeah.
You're seeing a perfection and a process that's taking place before you get to quote unquote the cap pyramids and the Sphinx, et cetera, et cetera. No
Uh,
different here. If you're going through South America and you're seeing the big, massive, beautiful temples and the pyramids that are being built, you would then have to dig deeper and understand the origins in North America that aren't there, or the mounts. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to see the tracing of the evolution of where you're finding these massive, magnificent structures, right?
mm,
That's
and,
what they're finding out now.
and
Man,
I'm from
these
North
people
Carolina.
travel from north to south.
I'm
What's
from
that?
North Carolina, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
You
Yeah,
see,
you know, shout out. You know what I'm saying? That's a drop. You know, a plug. You know what I'm saying?
facts,
You know,
facts, facts.
you know.
Yes,
And
yes,
shout out to
yes.
the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He's also from North Carolina.
That is so right. That is right.
And
Right.
also, someone in the chat, let me I think it's Diggy Ali Bey. That's his name. He
Okay.
said that's why the Marine song says from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Triple
That's correct. That's correct. And now you're able to see that the Montezuma and that those people originated from this land, this part of North America, going into Mexico and South America, right? So
Yeah.
again, they're not just disputing what the Moors say. They're not just disputing what the Black Indians say. They have to dispute what the foremost experts are saying. Go take it up with them,
Yes,
right?
yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
got the facts, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the facts, and you know, we are politely inviting all who if you have a opposing view that you would like to place on the table, uh, we're willing to have those discussions.
Yeah. Anybody can get to work. I noticed that even like there's sometimes where somebody will post something and some of the natives quote unquote, want to get jumpy. Nah, come on in the arena. You know what I mean? You can get to work. We can have the conversation, and we can just see, what's really good. Because,
See,
like I said,
I was promoting it softly ish. You didn't have to make people scared.
Yeah, no. I'm about. Let's go, grandma for grandma, grandpa for grandpa. And let's see who one of the ancestors first.
Facts.
Okay.
Let's go.
Facts.
Yeah, let's just put it on the table. Let's put it on the table.
Let's put it on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
I have an oral tradition. My oral tradition is pretty heavy on the matrilineal side. So, I'm pretty, I'm pretty sourced up on that area. But yeah, the information you sent me though, wow, yeah.
I do want to stress how important it is for us to do, genealogy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Genealogy is the key that unlocks so many very important things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're able to push the conversation forward when you invest in doing the digging. When you go and you find your family tree.
Yeah.
And you find out things that you didn't know before. It can be something that's very encouraging, something very enlightening, right? And I think your future generations will thank you for you being willing to actually do that. I do want to take a moment and share some important information of some things that we've come across this week from a brother that we all know.
Yes, sir.
We've had we do our share screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a brother that we hold in high regard. We have Brother Sarnetta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sarnetta came to the conclusion in the revelation that he's a Shinnecock, and he apologized to the American Indians.
When was this?
2 days ago.
Oh, no.
We send comfort and condolences to him and the loss of his mother.
Mm-hmm.
But while he was at the funeral,
smooth as seas.
Absolutely. While he was at the funeral, his uncle was giving the eulogy. He was talking about their roots and origins as the Shinnecock Nation. So let's play the clip and let's see. This particular edit is coming from Turtle Gang. Make sure y'all support Turtle Gang. But let's see what Brother Sarnetta.
Shout out to Sarnetta, man. Shout out to Turtle Gang.
Absolutely.
This is one of my mother's favorite brothers. And he started talking about the history. And it blew my mind. I was sitting there like, did he just say that? I said, man, I got to go live and apologize to my Native American brothers and sisters. Because some of them are real, some of them are not. You know what I'm saying? I know I showed y'all my DNA, and in my DNA, it had some percentage of Native American in there, right? Yeah, I saw that. I talked to him about my father a little bit. He knew my father very well, and he knew my father, Puerto Rican. He knew it, Joseph. As soon as I say my father, I said, I'm Puerto Rican. I said, my father, Puerto Rican. He said, yeah, Joseph, I know who he is. And I was like, wow, okay. Tell me a little bit about him. And I didn't even get that on tape because I was just interested in learning more about him, But at the end of the day, I can't even go against that no more. Because I just learned that, goddamn, I have some Indian in my family. That a lot of the stories that the brothers and sisters be talking about are real. But see, here's the difference. When I asked my cousin, are we Africans or are we Indians? She said, yes, we're a little bit of both. See, they did not deny the African side. And I was happy that they didn't do that, because then I would have been against them on that. Not against them like that, but I would have been like, yo, don't tell me you're afraid to be Black or African. She said, yeah, we have a little bit of African in us as well, but we are Native Americans. And I was like, oh, wow, Native Americans, And I mean, I can't go against that no more. So I'm going to learn a lot more about that. Shinnecock Nation of America. And here's my Uncle Richard. Let me just play it and get it out the way, man. I said, I wish I would have interviewed him a little longer, but I can, because I'm going to call him now. I'm going to call my uncle, and I'm going to do a nice long interview. And here we go right here. All right, I want everybody to know that this is my Uncle Richard right here. One of my mother's favorite brother, right? And so I want to ask you something. You said something that was very good to me in there, and I didn't know. I'd be arguing with people about the Native American Indians, and I'd be saying I'm not an Indian, I'm an African. So talk to me about what you said about that.
Just
about my grandfather.
Yeah, Dad came from Long Island, further out near around Kokomo, and he was in the tribe of the Shinnecock Indians.
So my grandfather,
Native American, and he moved, married Graham, and moved into Glen Cove.
Yeah. Wow, man. I know the people.
Native American indigenous folks.
Say that again?
As a Native American indigenous folks, if you want to be politically correct, we are not from the country of India. We are Indian.
Now that's his granddaughter that's talking right now. That's his granddaughter, which is my cousin. That's my cousin, my second cousin right there. She just got back from Africa, Kenya, and Ghana. She travels all over. So she jumped in. So they know their history. It is me who don't know it. Damn.
Native American indigenous folks.
Say that again?
As a Native American indigenous folks, if you want to be politically correct, we are not from the country of India. We are Indian.
Now, how come we didn't know nothing about this history, though?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't passed down to me.
I knew.
She knew.
So you know about this. Now, that's my other cousin right there. They come from, that's my other cousin right there, you know? But she knew who it was. But you know, we really never had these conversations. And so I am glad that I did now, because now I'm going to get more information from my family while we're still here and while my uncle is still here.
So I just wanted to show y'all the importance, and I want to show you how relevant this is, because when you do go to the site, I share one of my recent articles was dealing with the Shinnecock Nation that he was talking about. Of course, this was well before he got his revelation. But again, they treat people like they're strange when I say that I got Moorish history, yet I'm indigenous. You see how that changes once you're able to see it for yourself.
And listen, honest and gratitude to creator the boundless universe for the $3 super chat. He has a question. He says, "What is the best way to determine genealogy?"
The best way to determine genealogy is to start with your oldest living relative. Sit down with them. Maybe you got to play a little bit of music, some older music, get the mood right, and just sit down with them. Make sure you have a videotape or something that you're recording them with, and allow them to tell you the history. There may be certain nicknames, family names that people go through, and then you'll start getting little jewels and gems that you can get an account with Ancestry.com, and you can start going through the records. But talking to your oldest living relative will allow you to start getting that information. In fact, on my website, I give you a step-by-step how to start obtaining the information of genealogy. So just taking that first step, talking to the oldest relatives, allows you to do that.
Everybody tap into firsttribe.com. Make sure you tap into First Tribe.
For sure.
And if you join the website. I joined the website.
Appreciate that. Absolutely.
Get that information. I'm of the. Hold on for a second. Let me do this. Mm-hmm. I'm of the thought that I'm both in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, I'm never going to deny, the African, the so-called African blood in my body.
Right.
But
You're more.
I do know my matrilineal history. So, you know what I'm saying? So I know it's a little both and somewhere around there. So, but I am gonna, do more research.
You see how important it is. You're seeing it in real time.
Yes, sir.
He's feeling like he was left out of the loop and getting caught up. But the thing was, don't jump out the window attacking somebody if you don't really have right knowledge, right?
Facts.
Now, because I mean, when you got to eat them words, sometimes, you know, what I mean, it can be bitter, it can be sweet. He's always opened his platform to let American Indians come on there, and he gets points for that. The
Keep
brothers
you
always,
is my blood.
mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah. So it's always very, very good to get that truth, and it starts again from the older generation. You see where he got his knowledge from? You saw in real time, right?
Yeah,
Getting that information allows you to say, man, cuz I didn't know that. Or man, auntie or uncle, I didn't know that. That's where the information and the truth is, right? So on this old dirty bastard article, I show you not only the history, because of course he's first cousins with RZA, so of course this is RZA's history too. But here we have a genealogist who went through his history, really trying to debunk him. But let's see what this genealogy proves.
And right here in 1910, this is an extraordinary document. This is Wilson Cuffey and his wife. And look right here on the race, Indian. His wife was mulatto, and the children were Indian. This is his sister-in-law, also mulatto. So right here, we're on the right track. It looks like everything ODB said is checking out so far. Wilson was a coachman, which was basically an Uber driver, but with horse and carriage. In 1900,
watch this, y'all.
In New York, you see right there William Cuffey and Mary Emma Cuffey and their son Wilson. And he's a laborer and she's a servant. But here they're listed as black. And the other.
Oh.
You caught that?
Switch up.
So in 1900, they were black. And the first one he showed you was in 1910. They were listed as Indian. Then in the later census, guess what they got turned back to?
Black.
What?
Right. See? So when we talk about the misclassification, that's why we have the petition that deals with misclassification. Because when the ODB would come and say, my great-great-grandfather was a chief of the Shinnecock tribe, they laughed at him. He would go on Howard Stern and they would mock him. Oh yeah, Shinnecock, hey, cock. He was telling you, my great-great-grandfather sold Manhattan to the white man. And he was telling you the truth, and this genealogist proved it. But he was misclassified.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Lost in the history of time.
Right. So unless you go and do the digging, then you'll be able to see, man, in this census, there was an Indian, and in this census, it's black, and in this census, it's colored, and in this census, see what you got to catch them. You got to catch them, right?
Yes, sir.
So old dirty bastard was telling the truth when he would make those statements.
And Sonetta, that's your brother. That's your
Indian sold Manhattan to the white man's my grandfather. That's what Old Dirty Bastard claimed in his verse on the song Reunited on the Wu-Tang Forever album.
Right? So that's his great-great-grandfather. Right? So we go through the whole history. LL Cool J and Flavor Flav are all Shinnecock Indians. They did their history and they know their history.
Different shades.
That's all,
and
right?
Look at them, bro. They all of them like side look away, Flav look away, ODB look away.
So the phenotype, you can't play the phenotype game, right?
Right.
But these are indigenous people who know where the history is. And you might be having a whole different philosophy, running to that uncle like Sonetta did to say, wait a minute, no, brother. No. We Shinnecock, bro.
See, it's beautiful, man, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was reported to say, you know, if paraphrasing, if you look at a man and try to tell his nationality, it might burn you up. You know what I'm saying? Because you just can't look at a person, you know, per se, and say what his nationality is.
No, you can't. You can't do the looker shit. You cannot do the looker shit.
No,
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 no. That will
no,
fail you. And
no.
that's just being lazy. That's not being true to yourself, and you're doing your forefathers a disservice.
A great disservice.
Correct.
Great.
Because we've proven the various features of the indigenous population. We've been showing you in South America, in North America. We've been showing you the different phenotypes. So you, again, thinking these phenotypes are instantly African, you're not doing your due diligence.
No.
We're showing you where the origin of the headdresses come from. These indigenous people were wearing the fez. These indigenous people were wearing the turbans. These were indigenous people. Right? So we're not foreigners when we dress up as our forefathers did, because we know that we're tied to this same land.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be a Turk. Now you got the facts. The Turks didn't get this until the 19th century. They're imitating you.
Say it ain't so, Valley.
Yeah, they is. Yeah, they is. Yeah, they is. Uh-huh.
Say it ain't so.
You got a question, super chat your question, and we'll deal with them. Matter of fact, how about this? If you have a contending thought, I'm finna put the link in the chat, right?
Invitation, absolutely. No, we had a conversation. Even if you want to have clarity on something, please feel free to come in and join and ask the question. This is not an environment of, to be attacked. This is a welcome to come and ask those questions so that you can ascertain the truth.
We're gonna attack you. I think that's right.
And we're gonna beat you up.
We'll get two people in. We'll do two people. You know what I mean?
For sure. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah. So just to recap some of the things of what we've been able to go over, we've been able to go over the origin of the fez. We've also gone over the importance of the red cap and what it symbolizes, right? Here in the Americas, as well as over in Europe and the ties of it. We've gone over Mithras. We've gone over the importance of the historical figure of Mithras. We've gone over being able to highlight in real time someone identifying their lineage and seeing how important that is, and them being transparent enough to want to share that with the world. He could have just kept that close to the vest. But even in his pain of burying his mother, he still saw the foresight to want to share some important information. So again, salute to Brother Sanetta for being willing to do that in such a very important time. But again, that just shows how important it is to be tied into your lineage and your birthright. Now, also in Urban Indian Heritage Society, we have a team of genealogists because we understand how important it is to get that truth too. So if anyone is interested in getting, the facts and the documentation, you can find us at urbanindianheritagesociety.org, and you can put in your request for the genealogy team to assist you. We also have our event coming up in October. That's October 10th through the 13th in Los Angeles. And we'll be able to do genealogy sessions. We'll have live meet and greets. We have a whole, nice little format that's set up in Los Angeles. Again, that will be October 10th through the 13th.
Man, I got to get back out to Vegas, man.
Oh yeah. Out west, man. I like the way we move out west.
Oh man, I got to get back out there. I just want to come back out there and eat, man.
I know, right? Good variety.
Oh
good
man,
varieties
I walk the strip and just attack every food place I can find.
There's like nobody's safe. Whether you got Asian cuisine, soul food, whatever you're looking for here in Vegas, we got a full variety out here. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. We had error, and they had some pretty good food in there.
Yeah, good buffet options and stuff. Yeah, all day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, man. We got the link in the chat for whoever want to cam up. If you do hit the link, cam up. I don't want it. If you don't want to show your face, we're gonna get you right up off of there. You know what I'm saying? because you know, we family here, and we don't do the hiding faces. You know, also, if you do not want to get on and cam up, super chat your question. Use the super chat option. Super chat your question. Everybody, make sure you hit the like button. I need everyone in the chat to hit the like button. If you don't choose to use the super chat, super sticker, or the super thanks, what you can do is hit the Cash App link, which I place right on the screen for you. Just give me a second. Here we go. And just hit the link, and it takes you straight to the Cash App if you want to support that.
Yes, and thank y'all for the likes and the shares. We do appreciate y'all. Thank you.
For sure.
Dude, please share. Thank you. Honors and gratitude. Ish, tell me
Yes, sir.
something. While we wait, I want to ask you a question. Brother, just so ones can get an understanding of you somewhat, because you know I know you, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm well aware. That's why you here. But give the people kind of a history on how you got to this particular lane of information and why you've taken it so seriously.
Yeah. I think my family is no different than other families as far as when you do go over the, and you ask your elders, who are you, or where do we come from? Grandma, where we come from? Give me a little bit about the history. My grandmother told me, like countless of other people. Okay, well, yeah, we from this part of, we from Alabama, and this is the history here. We even moved to Florida. We are Creek Indians. And those things kind of sound unusual, so when you kind of growing up, you are kind of measuring what your grandparents are telling you, or your aunts or your mother or your father's telling you, and you're measuring it with what the media is telling you. Your media is telling you Roots, Alex Haley, Kunta Kinte, Chicken George, etc. So you have to then measure, or maybe merge them both, or just try to figure it out, right? Or just come to the conclusion, well, maybe y'all wrong. Maybe y'all just got the oral history wrong, because this is not what what I'm taught in school.
Right.
Right. It becomes a conflict. It becomes a conflict of, man, what's the truth, right? I know my grandmama loved me and my granddaddy loved me, but maybe I don't want to say that they wrong, but maybe they just got it wrong because they old school. And as you grow older and you grow wiser, you start to realize how foolish that sounds. They know who their mother and their grandparents are. They grew up with them. They're just as sure of who their ancestors were as I am talking to my grandmother and mother. They were just as sure talking to their grandparents and parents, right? So of course they know what they're talking about. You just crazy as hell because you've been mixing the dope in your own head and you're confusing yourself. You're overthinking it. Because it's to other people's benefit to keep you foreign in your own land. That's to their benefit. They can impersonate you. They can make merchandise off of you. They can tax you. They can do all of these things to you just by rearranging your mind. They can take you off your land, not physically, but you've achieved a greater thing when you can do it mentally. Because now I can tax you and make merchandise of you, and you won't even know where you came from. Right?
And sell you right back to you.
Yeah. And make money, monetize it while they're doing it. They make money off of you by being able to tax you. They can't tax Indians, but they can tax you and keep the economy going after they've already used you for a couple of 100 years.
Facts.
Right? So that's what the hustle is. And once you start to see, or you put yourself in an environment to where you can start to question things, that's where the Moorish side comes from. I was lucky enough to be around very wise Moors, and we were all very wise at a young age. So I didn't get into Moorish history when I was 30 or 40 years old. I got into it as coming out of the teens as a young 20-year-old. I was able to meet Sharif Bey. He was a freshman at Syracuse University. And I would go to Sharif's room, and Sharif's room was no bigger than this corner of my office. This corner where this couch is, from this couch to that wall was Sharif's room. There's a little tiny little room.
Jeez.
And all he had was a little bed in there, and that was college dorm. That was college. He was a freshman college dorm. We would go in there, and I always have a backpack because I was a 5%er. So I always had my backpack with me, my books and stuff in there. And we go up to his room and we go study. So as he was up in college, he had access to computers and things that there wasn't no internet like that. There was no internet. Everybody had like floppy disks. You're talking about, this is like 1990. There wasn't no internet. But he had access to go to the computer rooms, and we would take information, go to the computer rooms, use his pass so that we can go and start comparing information, right? But when you're in contact with somebody at such a young age and you're young, you have that kind of hunger for the knowledge and information. So I was very fortunate to be knowing these people for 30 plus years, you know.
Absolutely.
Sheikh Denham L, somebody I've known for over 40 years, right? When you have the same babysitter with somebody who your children, but he grows up and becomes a wise man, I've been blessed. Allah blessed me to be around these people, right? Even though we're children, they grow up to be very wise men.
Absolutely.
And that, in a nutshell, is the history of who Allah blessed me with. I was blessed to be taught by Khalid. I identified a great man and said, how can I, you know, some people would ask the question, man, how could you be around Malcolm and not be like want to learn? This is somebody walking in your midst. Like, how are you like 70 years old and you wasn't a Nation of Islam Muslim under Malcolm X? Was you a punk? Like, why wouldn't you go and seek somebody who is so great?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? I had enough presence of mind to identify Khalid and said, I want that man to be my teacher. You have to have a presence in order to do that. That's nothing to play with because it takes pressure to be around a great person. This person wants you to be an example of what they're teaching, right? So you have to have courage. You have to be diligent. You have to be respectful. You have to be wise. You have to be merciful. You have to be fierce. You got to be all of that. Right? So, yeah, Allah blessed me to be around very good people in this journey.
Praise be to Allah. We got two questions that I want to address.
For sure.
One just came in. Honors and gratitude, Ishmael Young. Whoa, we got another one coming in. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, first, who is okay. We got Justice Orion. Can anyone expound on the feather plum in Noble Drew Ali's headdress? Research. This is my answer to you. I'm not going to go into a long, drawn-out demonstration about it. But look up the ostrich feather. The ostrich feather. The ostrich feather in ancient Egypt, the ostrich feather held profound symbolic and cultural significance. Mostly notable as the feather of Mayat, representing truth, justice, and cosmic harmony. All right? So I'll go there and you can do further research. As we all know, that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was also known as the Egyptian adept student. So that should make a connection and an opportunity for you to take further study. Next question. We have next question. Honors and gratitude to D Retro for the $1.99 super chat. He said, why did C. Freeman L wear Mark Duck Fez? First and foremost, if you own a copy of the Zodiac Constitution, which a lot of people speak about, which is this book right here, which we want to talk about. This is one of them. This is one of the clocks of destiny right here. But if you notice at the bottom, right there, right there, let me tell you what it says. It says, especially for initiated Masons, Eastern Stars, 3rd, 32nd, and 33rd degree. So that answers to you why his FEZ was marked up. Okay? We don't have to go any further. Now, I had to address those two things. And that's not a shot at the brother. Honest to him for his work. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is the truth. He was amazing. And possibly a Shriner. And we all know. And I'm not knocking any brother for his choice to wear the FEZ how he chooses to wear the FEZ. It says, is blood superior to nationality when self-identifying Commission Moorish Native American?
Yes.
That's one for you, brother.
Yes, blood is superior. The reason why blood is superior is because a person's nationality can change.
Absolutely.
But can your bloodline, lineage, ancestry, can that change?
No, because the Prophet Noah even told us, no man can change the decent nature of his forefathers unless his power extends. No man can change another man from the decent nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond that of the great God. Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah, you are what your ancient forefathers were.
Yeah, right now,
without doubt.
Or contradiction.
I'm a Moorish American. I'm a Moorish American, but I could move to Russia and become a Moorish Russian.
Absolutely.
Just because allegiance and the change of national jurisdiction. Understood?
Yeah.
So
you can be born in a certain area.
Right.
That doesn't change who you are.
And
right?
that's the decent nature of your forefathers.
Correct. And a good example of that is the brother who supports our petition, Brother Kyrie Irvin. He was born in Australia. So by him being born in Australia, he actually has an option of playing this year, this next coming Olympic. He can either play for Australia or, of course, play for America. However, he is of the bloodline of the Lakota Indians.
Correct.
That is his great-great-great-grandfather, who was one of the chiefs of the Lakota Nation, through his mother, who was born and raised on the reservation before she was put into adoption. So although you're born in Australia, you cannot change your blood because that's what ties you to this land and your identity. So that's an example in real time. Very good question.
Absolutely. Praise people a lot. We got one more. Created a balanced universe. He said, my great grandmother's middle name is Nora. The root word being Nor, a light. I know that I am indigenous and related to Lenape and the Nakota.
Yeah, the Lenape and the Nanacoke are a very good tribe. A very powerful tribe. You'll find them in the eastern region, northeastern regions, even like in the New Jersey areas too. Very, very good. It's good that you're in tune with that. Definitely continue digging on that. And that middle name, the middle name is Nora. Okay, the root word being Nor, meaning light. Nor is a variation of Nar, which is a variation of Moor. You can find some of the ancient records where you see Nar/Moor on some of the slave records in Louisiana.
Hey, can we do a show on that?
Oh, for sure.
That'd be a good show.
We might be back in the. My brother said he free after 7. That's what my brother said. He said he free after 7. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? I bring him up here every day. What you want to do? What you want to do? He with the smoke. You know what I mean? Hey, and And let me tell you something, man. Creator of the balanced universe. Let me say something to you. I truly appreciate you. Everybody in the chat. But I want to say something to Creator of the balanced universe.
Oh yeah,
I truly
always tap in.
Louis Serrano Bay. Truly appreciate you two brothers. I truly appreciate your support. I truly appreciate your participation. You know, your giving spirit, your charitable spirit. I truly appreciate it. We at Let's Think Podcast truly appreciate it. I'm pretty sure the listening audience appreciated it too. And I thank you. I thank you for all that you do, your continuous support. I thank you. I truly thank you. And everybody who's watching, I truly thank you. I truly thank you for your participation. I truly thank you for every view, every share, every comment, every like. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. And I hope that this content that we continue to bring forth continues to keep your attention and
Mm-hmm.
continue to intrigue you and inspire you and motivate you to want to know more about yourself, to want to know more about your ancient forefathers, to know more about your ancient foremothers, to want you to know more about life and the universe itself. This is the reason why I created Let's Think Podcast, so we could all get together in this digital huddle, in this digital community, and start to think together. There's no reason
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever that we should be at odds with each other. We should be sharing. The Holy Quran of Mecca of Muhammad says that Allah created man in nations and tribes, that we may get to know each other and not despise each other.
Each other.
So let's get to know each other. Let's sit in the dust with each other. Let's share this information. But guess what though? We don't mind, a nice healthy debate. Matter of fact, we encourage it.
Facts.
We encourage it.
I wanted to show an example, if I may, though, right quick. Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. An example of what we're talking about with the nor or the nar, and meaning the more. Once I'm able to share the screen, I'll be able to show you in real time.
His bag already. He done went right back in his bag.
We can go to the website and check out the slave database. This is the enslaved website that deals with the Journal of Slavery and Data Preservation, enslaved.org, one of the foremost slave databases. Let's go to the search bar and we'll put in nar/more. And we hit it. And we see the results from the Louisiana database of the Moors who were enslaved in Louisiana. Let's pull up one. Let's just pull one up and let's see what it says.
Bro, you doing too much ish.
These Moors here, because they'll tell you where they're coming from. So as we go here, this is an unnamed. Let's go with somebody with a name here. Let's go here. These people who are these Moors who are enslaved coming up in the databases, when you would go through certain things like a court case, you would have to give your nationalities what they would ask for. And when they give you your nationality, you would have to tell them, in order to be on the court record, what your identity is. And many of them would let you know that they were nar/more. So once you are identified as this is how you're put in the actual database. So even when you just put in and you go to the database here, you'll be able to see this example. Let's see here. I know there was this one here. This is from the Afro-Louisiana History and Genealogy, birthplace, Moor/nar. So you see the correlations of that Moorish history in the Louisiana slave records. The person's name was Maham. So Any documents involving Maroons, including reports of runaways, interrogation, captured runaways, and testimony by slaves about runaways, and things like that. So they give you very detailed information, and you'll find that the Moorish history is very prevalent in those areas. So I just want to show you an example in real time.
Hey, listen, Ish. I have a show just came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Being that you're so well versed in this area, can we please do a show? Can you put together a PowerPoint presentation for a show on Islam amongst indigenous people?
Yeah, I could do that. That's no problem.
Oh man, that'd be a good one. That'd
Yeah.
be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a good one because a lot of people, a lot of the naysayers say, that ain't possible. Nah, that's not it.
Well, we have to be responsible with that because we have to always keep in mind that Islam is an AD religion.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to keep that in mind. Islam is an AD religion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if indigenous people are BC people, we can't make something that it is not, right?
Right.
So we have to understand that something had to come in
to
the indigenous people in order for them to adopt that philosophy.
Absolutely.
That's what we're now. Moors are an ancient people.
Absolutely.
When you deal with Strabo, the ancient Greek, he met a group of people in the BC years who identified themselves as Moors. So Moors are ancient.
Right.
Right. But Islam itself is something that indigenous people adopted and cooperated within their culture.
And then we have
explore that because it's very important.
Yeah, but then we have to appropriate that and identify that as the so-called religious structure that was brought to and presented in the AD by Prophet Muhammad that eventually made its way into the indigenous people. But however, we do know that Islam existed, before Muhammad. We do know.
Yeah, we do. Exactly. And Dr. Wesley Muhammad breaks that down excellent. I think he does an excellent job of breaking down that.
Yes, sir. But as I asked do a presentation on that, is we're talking about the religion or can I say this? Mohammedanism amongst Native Americans.
Absolutely. A very distinct history that needs to be explored. And yes, I got the documentation on that. For sure.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. Yeah. Let's get in this chat, man. I see Ish, see. But see, you know what? I love how you demonstrating, bro, because when there's no one who want to jump in the ring, guess what? We know we doing something right.
Super chat.
Yes, sir. Super chat. Created a balanced universe. Thank you, sir. According to Commission Adab, Islam is BC. Absolutely it is. The principles and the actual concepts and philosophies of what is known as Islam today predate Muhammad. Most definitely. So it is BC. If we're gonna, especially if the Islamic narrative says that Ibrahim or Abraham was a Muslim and he followed the path of Islam, of course it's BC. However, what many people do is they mistake the principle, the concept for the ritual, the right, and the cultural overtones of those of Arabia. That's the problem. And when we can't begin to distinguish the two, we get lost in the sauce.
We do, and we have to keep it. You got to keep the main thing, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can type in Google right now. What is the oldest monotheistic religion? We already talked about it earlier. It's Zoroastrianism. Nobody's going to tell me or you would have to prove to me that an organized religion, which is Islam, which is monotheistic, predates Zoroastrianism, and you will be found wanting. Now, the concepts of what makes Islam Islam is as old as the sun, the moon, and the stars. The principles of what makes Islam what it is immortal. It has no birth record. It's ancient. But as a structured, organized religion of monotheism as a structure, it has a place.
And
we have to have that conversation and understand the difference.
Absolutely. And guess what, brother? That'll be a great conversation because that'll be a subject I would love to weigh in.
For sure.
I would love to weigh in. And that'll be one of the ones that I, tap in on. And Creative Balance Universe, that was a beautiful question. Honors and gratitude for the $5 super chat. Always supporting. You know what? Creative Balance Universe, I got something for you. I got something for you, dear brother. I got something for you. Hey, listen. Contact me on Facebook, Creative Balance Universe. Sheikh 7 Islam L. I got something for you. Contact me in the inbox on Facebook. And I got something for you. I'll get it in the mail.
Wonderful interactions with the chat this evening. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the questions, for the super chats, for the beautiful spirit. Y'all doing wonderful. Thank y'all. I see that. I see it.
Absolutely. Ashnell Young, he said we just talked Akhenaten making God monotheistic. I believe all is one. Polytheism is really just the attributes of Allah. Absolutely. 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 But see, what we have to understand is this too. The further you get away from the root of a thing, people's concepts and their perception and their perspective of certain things begin to shift. So, but the whole thing is being able to understand the root of a thing, the principle of a thing, the concept of a thing. Because if we're so fixed on outward show, we'll always be caught in the grips of illusion.
Facts.
Always. So, when we start talking about monotheistic thought, it's a thought. It's a concept. It's a perception. Though it's a reality, it's still a thought and a concept that has to be grasped and then take control of the mind of the person for it to be, to take root. But at the end of the day, yes, sir. Absolutely. Like the closer you look at atoms, it disappears. Absolutely. 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 But see, now we have to start dealing with, higher levels of consciousness. Because those are certain principles and concepts that common people just can't grasp.
All right.
And it's not because the common person is something wrong with the common person. It's just not where they are in their conscious evolution. That's it. Right. And the prophet said it this way. He knows where we all are along the way. He knows what level of expansion that our consciousness has achieved. So, that's what determines the fact. And guess what? All of them are right.
Right.
They're right. If we place the number 9 in between me and you would probably see it as a 6. I would see it as a 9.
Right.
Those are right. Guess what we got to do? Draw down to the principle and the concept and the actual intention and spirit of the particular thing, and then we can get to the truth.
Yeah, the context means the difference. That's what makes the difference. The context. If the context is that I'm quote unquote upside down, my valid view, I'm now adding context to why I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Absolutely. 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 So, this is why I bring so many diverse brothers onto this channel. You know what I'm saying? Praise be to Allah. We just had our first sister on the channel. Sister Dana.
Wonderful.
Sister Dana. Beautiful sister. Wonderful wealth of knowledge. And she will be back because guess what I'm not going to allow? is that sister to not have or have assistance, because she's world known. It's not so we
Right.
made her famous. But guess what we do? We need to continue to push and broadcast her message into the ethers. And I want
It's
to be a
very
part.
much needed. Correct.
I
Yes.
want to be a part. Just like I want to be a part of you pushing, your message and broadcasting it into the ethers,
For sure.
brother. We need more of us. And this is not a racial thing. But knowing the history of those who look like us all over the world, not just here in North America, all over the world, have been subjugated, have been downtrodden, have been mentally enslaved, physically enslaved. Us Americans, we just have went through it a lot worse than everybody else.
Right.
But every nation has.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones who came out of that said situation that every other nation has gone through. We came out of it with our memory wiped away,
Correct.
not knowing who we were. No other nation on the planet came out of that said situation of slavery not knowing themselves. So we have a special obligation to each other.
Right.
I have an obligation to your children. You have an obligation to my children.
Right.
That's why I'm bringing wholesome content to a platform or YouTube society that's so filthy. We
Mm-hmm.
got to put clean glasses of water next to the dirty glass
Correct.
and give people the opportunity to choose.
Right.
And this is why we are here. What about talismans? My name is my name. Peace. What about talismans? We can do another show on that. Talismans, hey, yeah, I'll do a show on that. Thank you for that suggestion. Thank you for that suggestion and continue to support. I will have a show on talismans coming, and I do have the perfect person to do a show on talismans. So, and guess
Nice.
what? It's kind of crazy you grabbed it out the ethers, because the very person who can talk about that, I just contacted them a week ago about coming onto the platform. So
No
Right on
strange
time.
happenings.
Right.
Oh, no
Right on
strange happenings, Mo.
So now I know what to tell him to talk about. All right. Thank you. Honest and gratitude. But listen, when I see Ish, that's my brother. When I see Jarvis, well, I mean, come on, that's my brother.
For sure.
But when I see my RBG brother, that's my brother. When I see my Pan-Africanist brother, that's my brother. When I see them Garveyites, that's my brother. When I see the Hebrew Israelites, those my brothers. We a family. And until we get upon a collective consciousness outside of your isms, your schisms, your doctrines, and we stand on the fact that we are us. We all want the same things. We all striving for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I mean, you could probably say it a different way, but how many different ways can you say the truth? So, I mean, we all know what we need and what we want. All of these things all this information and wisdom and the knowledge that we are acquiring is only useful if we use it.
That's right.
It's only useful if we use it. And the first place you're supposed to use it is on your own character. So until we all begin to work on our characters, our collective unity is like vapors and smoke in the wind, appearing and disappearing. Here one day, then it's not. Just like that, just like that Sunday feeling some people get when they go to church. They get it, then they leave the door, it's gone.
Right.
Some Muslims get it too on Friday when they go to the masjid. They get it while they're there. As soon as they walk out the door and jump in their car, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Moorish Americans, you get it too. We ain't gonna leave y'all out of it.
Right.
No. No. We go in there on Friday, at our holy day. We get in that spirit. Walk out the door, jump in your car, get a phone call. It's over.
Right.
And then go for a little bit. That's the human experience.
Mm-hmm.
But until we all understand that we're having the same experience on varying levels.
Right.
Until we get to that understanding, we're always gonna be doing this. Cause somebody gonna think they better than somebody else.
Facts.
Somebody ego get inflated. And then somebody else is unjustly torn down. We got to get out of that way of thinking.
Facts.
And listen. I'll say it today. I'm indigenous. I got African in me. Hebrew. What you want to call it? Guess what? I'm us.
Right.
I'm us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro us, but for everybody.
Yes.
So us as Asiatics, and guess what? For everybody who are outside of this particular nationality, you may not be Asiatic. You may be European, but how about this? Take these same concepts of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, instill them and embed them in your heart, and uplift your people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Uplift your people. Encourage and inspire your people. Because love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is universals for all of humanity.
Those are universal principles. Absolutely. We all have the same forefathers and foremothers. We all have the same exact amount of ancestors.
Yes, sir.
Right? For us to be here, we have the same exact amount of ancestors. Nice to meet you. You just have to go and find out who they are. We all got 2 grandparents, 4 great-grandparents. We all have the same amount.
Absolutely.
So once you identify them and find out how you tie into the narrative, that's when you're on your way.
Absolutely. So, created a balanced universe, again, $5 super chat. Is Zoroastrianism older than Akhenaten? I already hit you on the email, Sheikh. She said an encounter with the other brother said. Okay. You want to touch on that?
Yeah, Akhenaten he's not teaching a religion. Let's just pull up what is the oldest monotheistic religion, and let's see what it says. Because there's going to be a concept behind something that's deemed as an actual religion. So if we pull it up and let's see what it says, and we'll be able to go from there. What is the oldest monotheistic religion?
It's gonna be that of the 3 wise men.
Let's see. We're gonna Google it now. The oldest monotheistic religion. There, it was right there. Zoroastrianism.
Yeah.
Is widely considered the oldest monotheistic religion, with roots tracing back to the 2nd millennium BCE. It is an Iranian religion centered on the belief in one God as the supreme being and creator. Zoroastrianism's influence can be seen in later monotheistic faiths like Judaism, consequently Christianity and Islam.
And you can't join Zoroastrianism. You can't join it.
It said you have to get
you can't become it. Like, I'm taking an oath and now this is my new faith. You can't do that.
Lao Tzu.
Either you is or you ain't.
Yeah.
Is you is or is you ain't.
And one of the concepts in Zoroastrianism is that if you're attracted to Zoroastrianism, you had it in a previous life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm attracted.
You can't become it either. Right. Yeah. Is you is or is you ain't. Right?
Yeah. Ain't that what the prophet said? He said models are born, not made.
Facts.
Either you is or you ain't.
But I always thought about that too. Is like when you look at it from a biblical perspective, you think about it, it's like, why would 3 wise men travel all that far, all that way just to see a babe?
Right. Deep symbolism in that. Absolutely. But again,
I
you
think
start to
already.
see. Don't leave out Mithras now. Don't we had that Mithras breakdown. We saw the video. Don't forget, because Mithras is in that. When you talk about the Zoroastrianism and you talk about the Mithras, that's the bridge of where you get the whole Christianity concept at. You know, but there is a daddy and there is a child.
Jarvis, I guarantee you know the answer to your question.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee.
Of course. I'm not gonna say it to everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I concentrated on that a lot, but of course, you know.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Very, very in-depth symbolism.
Yeah.
And
that 3 thing.
Let me tell you something. Hey, listen. One thing for sure and 2 things for certain. We always gonna place it on the manifest. So continue, everybody in the chat, to participate. Please hit the like button. Matter of fact, let me go see how many likes we got. Hold up, man. I don't normally do this. But I'm finna go see how many likes we got, brother. Yeah, let's see how our brothers and sisters acting. Let me see. Well, how many likes we got? Yeah. That's, I can't even be mad. I can't be mad. I can't even be mad. Islam. Honest and gratitude. And honest and gratitude to everybody who support him. Brother Ish, is there anything else you want to say before you leave out?
No, like always, I'm always humbled. I want to thank you both for being able to have me. I hope you were able to find some value, and some information. Thank you both for being able to share your beautiful spirits and your wise words and your wisdom. I want to thank also the supporters that come out, the ones who are in the chat. I want to thank the Urban Indian Heritage Society. Thank the First Tribe Nation. I appreciate y'all also. We back at work. We getting it in. We doing some online debates in Clubhouse. Been taking heads for the last week, but I ain't even get started yet. I got nothing but time this weekend, so
yeah, you come back this weekend then, brother.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I've been like just keeping the scimitar razor sharp. So we just having good discussions and lively discussions in the different areas. I know people are getting some valuable information out of it. Don't forget, again, October 10th through the 13th, we have the event going on in Los Angeles. It's right there near the airport rooms. We got sales going on. We'll make sure we're able to keep y'all in the loop, and you can get the information at firsttribenation.com. Again, that's firsttribenation.com. I want to thank you both again for having me, and I want to leave you as I greeted you in peace and blessings.
Yes.
Oh, brother, man, it's always peace. It's always blessing to have your presence, brother. And man, brother, I hope I trust and I pray that the chat and the listening audience enjoys and appreciates your demonstrations as much as I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate them, especially being the youngest out the group. You know. You know, being the youngest out the group. You know,
that's a blessed position right there.
Yeah,
you get that wisdom early.
Quiet, man. The mouth of a babe, right?
Right.
Sir, young brother, young man.
Yes, sir.
But I always told Jarvis, bro, that he always surprised me. You know what I'm saying? That, at his age, that his level of maturity is where it is.
Yep, agreed.
Because my young brother teach me how to be organized. He teach me a lot about planning and scheduling just by listening to him and watching how he moves. You know what I'm saying? And it helps me and encourages me to organize my life a lot more. So,
right.
I give a shout out to my little brother, man,
because to be aware in real time is Allah's mercy in motion. To be aware in real time is Allah's mercy in motion. Remember how I told y'all how fortunate I was to identify great men and to align myself with them?
Absolutely.
Because I was aware something gifted me enough awareness to want to get that wisdom that I can now be almost 60 and still be able to share it.
You almost
in a strong way. Yeah. Next year I'll be 60. So I'm saying that to be aware at a young man.
Wait.
To yeah.
Hold on.
You about to be what?
Brother, I just had my 36th anniversary this week.
What?
I've been married for 36 years, bro.
I've been alive. Like,
man, that man been...
Yeah, me and the wife just had our 36th anniversary 2 days ago. So I've been around. I've been around the block.
You know, I gotta hit it with the young boy joke. What the hell?
What the hell, Barry? Yeah. But yeah, so very, to be aware at a young age, man, that's mercy. So I'm grateful to be able to be around your presence and just to be able to, just to say, you know what, brother? Hey, man, that's such a gift. That's such a gift, man. But I'm gonna leave y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all close out the show. I want to thank y'all again. I love y'all, and I'm gonna be in contact with y'all. Okay.
Honest and gratitude, brother, man.
You got it. Peace and blessings, soldiers.
Damn, brother Elder. Hey man, y'all know how we do it. Let's Stay podcast. We get silly too. You know what I'm saying? We got humor too. Hey man, listen. Everybody hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Leave your comments in the comment section, and we're gonna get right back to it. We got something else coming this weekend, inshallah. So stay tuned. Jarvis, you got anything else to say?
No, I don't have anything. Appreciate you all for sure. Y'all got us. Let's keep the numbers going up, and I hope the information that's been brought is not in vain. That it can be applied, and tell the people, man, just be proud to be aware.
Absolutely.
That's what I'll leave the chat with tonight. Just be proud to be aware.
Absolutely. And also, I told him before you got on, at 3,000 views, I'm giving away something.
Yeah.
To a lucky subscriber, and I will be announcing what it will be very soon. So I need y'all to keep subscribing, keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting, and stay engaged. Stay tuned in to Let's Think podcast. And oh yeah, we're gonna be doing some. If you're in Charlotte and surrounding areas, make sure you come out August 30th. We got Dr. Kaba, who will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So link in with me. You want the link, get your ticket. Guess what? It's free. It's free. It's free. So if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, or surrounding areas, get with me, share the link, get a free ticket, come chop it up. The Moors will be in the building. Islam.
Islam.
So listen, as we always do, we always have to let y'all know when we signing out. We just don't jump off like that. So we would like to give y'all peace and love. And we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.